Welcome to Shaw Spotlight. It's our living room edition here for myself. I'm coming to you from my home as we are working from home. So we're doing things a little bit differently, as we've mentioned in the past. I have a guest here with us, Martin Wyant, who's the Executive Director of Thunder Bay Ventures. And they're actually they're announcing some new COVID-19 related support for businesses, which is very exciting. And Thunder Bay Ventures is a non-for-profit group. And Martin, why don't you tell us a little bit about what Thunder Bay Ventures does, Martin? Thank you for being on the show.
Thank you. So Thunder Bay Ventures is the operating name for the Community Futures program in our region. So we receive funding from the federal government through FedNor to help strengthen and diversify our local economy. And we've done that for about 30 years. We provide 4 core services. So we help with strategic planning for businesses in our community. We assist with loans and investments in local businesses to try and help them out. We provide business advisory support services, and we will also help develop or sponsor economic development research or projects. So we have over the years, a big focus of ours has been providing financial support in the terms of loans or equity investments in local business, and I think that's what most people know us for.
That's great, because as people in Thunder Bay know that there are a lot of small businesses. There's the micro businesses, there's the small businesses, and there's a ton of people out there right now that are impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic that's happening right now. So we chatted yesterday, and there's some pretty big numbers that you mentioned in regards to small businesses. Why don't you tell our viewers about what we're chatting about yesterday?
Sure. So in preparation for our strategic plan this year, I secured some Statistics Canada information about our area. And they provided some reports that indicated as of last June, so June 2019, there were 5,802 tax-paying entities in our community. And the vast majority of those, 74%, reported annual revenues of less than $99,000 a year. So that's an astonishing number. That 74%, almost a full 3/4 of our community, are not just small business, they're micro businesses. So these are people that will have typically 9 employees or much less than that. And they're working in shops, they're working in home offices, they're working online. And they kind of go under the radar, but it's the vast majority of business that is going on in our community would be those micro businesses. And we use that research to try and determine a new approach to how we can provide services in our community, because I think it's fair to say that many of our programs and services are geared to a larger small business, for lack of a better way of describing it. When you're dealing with micro enterprises that are 1 person, 2 person, 3 people, 4 people, that kind of thing, you have to adjust. These are folks that for 1 hour, maybe, selling products, and the next hour they may be cleaning a bathroom, and the next hour after that, they may be doing their books. So to try and figure out how we can best pivot, we need to understand that we need to simplify things, and we need to make things a little bit less intimidating in terms of how we provide service and support. And I think what we've seen recently with the announcements for COVID-19, there's been some terrific work done by our governments. There's no doubt. But we're hearing from many of the smaller businesses that perhaps they are not eligible for some of what's being offered right now by the government, and that's why we decided to try and come up with a solution like the one that we talked about yesterday.
Why don't you tell our viewers a little bit about what that solution is?
Sure. So what we're doing is we're providing access to what we're calling a microloan, an emergency loan, to help people who are struggling as a result of the pandemic. There are many businesses who have had to close. There are other businesses who have found a way to pivot and maybe offer services differently. And, there's a few examples that, that we're aware of. For example, a restaurant might decide that they're going to go fully takeout and go online. There are some other examples that we've run into where people have been quite creative. But in that pivot, they're still not seeing the revenue that they would have normally seen had they been open. And, in many cases, they don't need, millions of dollars to keep going. They're small. They need, smaller amounts. And often, the amounts that they need are small enough that, for example, a traditional bank may not be the focus of a traditional bank. So we're trying to fill what we see as a void, to be offering up to $20,000 for folks who have, a pivot in place. They've got a plan in place to adjust to the new reality. They can do with it, as they see fit to run their business. They just need to tell us, what their plan is, and not a big business plan, maybe a couple pages. Here's how they're adjusting. We're going to offer it with no interest at all. So not interest accruing, no interest. So no interest until October. And then when October hits, they will start paying interest at the prime rate that is negotiated when the loan is agreed to. So right now, I think the prime rate is at 2.45%. It's at, an almost, it's very low. So when the loan starts to get paid, it will be paid at the prime rate, which is lower than we've ever been able to offer a loan before. So we think it's a solution that many smaller businesses might find useful. And we're just trying to be as helpful as we can, and get these considered and decided and out the door if they're approved as quickly as we can.
Now, is there any kind of criteria for these folks when they want to apply for it? What do they need to show you to get this loan?
So there's an application form that's on our website at thunderbayventures.com. It's, most of the information that we're going to require is in that application form. Beyond that, we would look for, a little, as I was saying earlier, a bit of a 1 or 2 pager saying, look, here's how the pandemic has affected us. Here's what we're going to do to try and adjust. And typically I would talk to them to try and just talk through any of the other questions that I might have. We would offer very reduced security requirements. Often when you do a loan, you have to do a whole variety of things that you sign, to get the loan approved. What we're going to do with businesses that are incorporated is say, look, we just need something that's called a promissory note. It's very straightforward. That's what we're going to be securing these loans with. It's real quick, it's real simple, and doesn't require a bunch of lawyers to get it completed. So it's on our website, and people can also email me directly with any questions. I've put that out to people. So my email is martin@thunderbayventures.com. If they have questions, they can get a hold of me easily that way, because like everybody, I got my phone with me, so it's an easy way for me to pick up any questions that people may have.
Excellent. That's great. That's some really great information. Like I said yesterday, I know a lot of people that run their own small businesses with 1, 2 employees. So hopefully this can be a nice fighting chance for those guys. For our viewers at home that don't own small businesses but want to support, what are ways that the community can support these small businesses?
That's a great question. And it's one I've been thinking about quite a bit. Some of the feedback we're hearing is certainly smaller businesses are struggling to pay rent if they don't have any income or the same income that they've had before. So if there are landlords that are hearing this, and if the landlords are able to cut their tenants a break, their business tenants a break, that would be really appreciated. If you can't open your doors, then your ability to generate the income you need to pay your bills is difficult, of course. So we're hoping that folks that are landlords will take that into consideration. We hope people will support our local businesses. So many businesses now are transitioning to online. So instead of perhaps going to an Amazon or going to, some of the other places that are out there, and it'd be great if people in our community tried to source where they could products locally from online businesses that are trying to make a go of it in very difficult circumstances. This is an opportunity to show that support and to put our money where our mouths are when it comes to supporting these folks. And these are the businesses that, if they're lost, in many cases won't come back. They're not it's local people that have put their life earnings into something to give back. These are the businesses that that sell raffle tickets and support local events and give products away, as charitable offerings to the charities that are doing terrific work in our community. And local folks do that more per capita than the larger multinational corporations do. And so these are people that go, their kids go to our schools, they're on the sports teams, they volunteer their time. We really want to find whatever ways we can to support them, to buy their products and services where we can, for sure.
Great. Thank you so much, Martin. It's been a pleasure talking with you this morning. And for the folks at home, stay healthy, stay strong. I'm Sarah Love, and you've been watching Shaw Spotlight.
Thanks, Sarah.